bumalik siya sa Pilipinas, marami ang nangyari kay Jordan. Mula sa pagiging black sheep, siya ay naging maamong tupa. At ngayon, isa na siyang pastor ng mga kabataan. Nagtuturo siya ng salita ng Diyos gamit ang musika.
We're back here on U-Turn with my good friend Jordan Escusa, who is now going to tell us kung paano siya nag-U-turn sa buhay niya. So dun sa youth camp, anong nangyari?
So in that youth camp, yun, wala akong plans, wala akong balak mag-change. I just went there for the sake of fun, for the sake na walang magawa sa buhay. Sige na nga. Patin-atin lang ako every day. Typical praise and worship, prayer. Maki-praise and worship ka, maki-pray ka, you know. But on the last night, we had this speaker, and he was talking about Satanism, mga ganun. That's his message. He specializes in, during that time, backward masking, mga ganun. Music.
Yung binabaliktad yung tape.
Yes.
Oh, yun.
Pero alongside with that is yung mga lahat ng gawain ng Diablo. Lahat ng mga ginagawa ng, you know, lahat ng mga kademonyohan sa mundo, yung ginagawa ng Diablo sa buhay ng tao. So when he exposed those things, that's when I realized, wow, that's where I'm at. Parang ganun. That's exactly, you know, where my life is at right now, in darkness. So during that time, I remember after he talked about all those bad things, and I realized that's what's been happening in my life, you know, those bad things. I wanted escape. I wanted out. But is it possible? Yun nga. Because I feeling ko immune na ako eh. Kumbaga, di na ako tinatablan. Manhid na, you could preach whatever, but it's the same old thing. But that night, God really talked. And, you know, through those things, exposing the darkness. And that's when I came forward, I went to the altar, and that's when I surrendered my life to the Lord Jesus Christ. And ever since then, my life has never, ever been the same again. I remember it perfectly well. It happened on a May 22 Thursday night around 11 p.m. 1997, the day that Jordan Escusa's life made a U-turn and never made any plans of going back. Mm-hmm.
Bakit mo masasabi na you'll never ever go back?
Well, because number one, I've been there. It's so easy that if you've been somewhere, I've been in the bad places, parang ganun. Why would you go back? You know, the Bible tells us na a dog returns to a vomit, so a person that returns to sin and keeps on doing his own folly, parang ganun. So if I'm going to do that again, I might as well eat my own suka or puke. Because now I understand that what I have now is way better than what I did back then. I mean, why? Why would you do it, di ba? Parang, why would you settle for something less when you know what you got right now is way better? And that's exactly what I found in the Lord. Parang,
What is way better to you?
to me, this life that I have in God.
Anong meron ka ngayon na wala dati?
Well, I think now I have a real live relationship, personal one. It wasn't forced on me. It was a personal decision that I had to make for myself. And when I did that, wow, I'm like, why did I not do this before? Why didn't I think of it before?
So aside from the relationship, ano ba ang meron si Jordan Escusa ngayon na wala dati?
Well, he gave me a family. Well, first of all, my immediate family, buo kami. Sabihin ko, we all getting along, we're all serving, happy serving God. And then
So
secondly,
joy, happiness.
yeah, I guess that. But of course, it's not always happiness. You have the struggles, but you have the strength to surpass those things. Unlike before, bagsak ka agad, di ba?
Kung meron kang gustong gawin dati, and you know it's wrong, minsan hindi ka makahindi.
Yeah.
So ngayon, yung sinasabi mo na meron ka ng strength to say no to the bad things.
You have now the conviction, you have now the grounds to make your stand. So, ang dami, sobrang dami. Like I said, when I look back, I really wish if I could get into a time machine, I would fly back and tell Jordan, you don't need to do that. There's a better drug than marijuana. The high that I got myself into was only, it wasn't lasting. You know, and it was, therefore, you're not satisfied, parang ganun. So when I found this high, I'm like, wow.
What kind of a high it is? Parang hindi mo may ipagpapalit yung nararamdaman mo kesa dun sa sa marijuana or drugs, right?
Well, I guess it's joy unspeakable. That's a hymnal, a hymn. But anyways, I would have to go back to the relationship because, kumbaga, religion is.
Kinakausap ka ba niya?
Yeah, I hear a voice, Jordan. Of course, you don't hear the audible voice, but you know He's there because there have been so many instances in my life where He's got me through. One of them was, my past, but so many ways that He's worked in my life, and not just in my life, in others' lives and stuff like that. I've seen it happening. There's a lot of evidence. It's just stupid not to see these proofs.
Oo, ano yung mga evidences na yun?
Well, yun nga, a changed life. When I got into the Lord, when I had this relationship, yun nga, yung boring na sinasabi ko, wow, hindi pala totoo yun. Because, if, ganito lang yan eh, hindi mo mararamdaman ng, halimbawa, sa, balikan natin yung love life, yung kilig, or sa pagiging in love, kung hindi mo kilala yung kina-in-lovean mo. Kumbaga, now there's real access, connection. Unlike before, laging interrupted. I would call up God, pero sablay-sablay ako, and, who am I to come to God? Parang ganun eh.
Well, sorry to interrupt you, but speaking of relationships, ibig sabihin nun, hindi ka interesado to be in a relationship with a woman at this time?
No.
Bakit?
No, yes. Of course, I am. But in the Lord's timing.
Single, available.
Single. Call that number on your screen. Be caller number 5. Therefore, in the moment, I'm so content that I could say that even if, sana the Lord, no, pero even if, but God knows my heart, But even if, like I said, I wouldn't mind because I am that happy and content that that I won't get things that God will not provide for me, stuff like that.
So you're saying na sobrang contented ka sa relationship mo kay God, na at this point in time, you don't even need a relationship with a girl.
Yes,
So,
sa akin, laging ayusin mo muna yung relation mo sa Lord mo.
Oo.
Bago sa, kumbaga,
Bakit?
well, because, like I said, if your love life with God is fixed, then yung human aspect, that would be easier. Rather than trying to work out a relationship with people around you, and then yung relationship mo sa taas, hindi maayos.
Right.
It's also hard to know what love is, because God created love,
That's
and
good.
God is love. And if you don't know God, it's hard to know love. The Bible even tells us in Psalms, David wrote one that talked about when when a man's relationship with God is okay, he even makes his enemies. And you imagine that even enemies be friends with him. You know what I'm saying? So why not your loved ones? Hindi kaya mas maging ayos yun, parang ganun. So
Speaking of relationships, how's your relationship dun sa family mo
with
ngayon?
my family, super great. I mean,
Nag-apologize ka na sa parents mo sa lahat ng mga,
oh yeah. I remember when I gave my life to the Lord, I wrote my mom a letter. In the past, I wrote her a letter saying sorry that I'm really a stupid person and really bad, evil, wicked son. I would make it really mushy, but that there are lies in there. I would like, don't worry, I know what I'm doing, when really I don't know. But I remember I wrote my mom a letter right after I gave my life to the Lord that week. And it talked about, Mom, I'm really sorry about back then. I am a changed person. I'm totally new, ganyan. And they,
Naniwala naman siya.
yeah, because after high school, I got into Bible college, and God was using me at my home church. And so,
For the first time na sumulat siya sa amin na hindi na kami dapat mag-worry sa kanya dahil kumbaga sa hindi ko makalimutan yung ginamit nga niyang term na you don't need to worry about me anymore. I am now what you call a new man. Dito niya itinuloy yung kanyang 4th year sa Methodist Church na aming kinabibilangan noon. Tapos hindi ko alam na siya pala ang nagli-lead ng Bible study, siya pala nagli-lead ng prayer meeting, na found out lang namin nung siya gagraduate na lahat nagko-congratulate sa amin na, oh, you must be Jordan's mom. Kung hindi dahil sa anak ninyo, ang anak ko, ganito, ganyan, ganyan.
When he went to the States, grabe, since nagkahiwalay na kami, napabarkada siya sa maling crowd yun, na involved siya sa drugs. Hindi talaga, walang mag-iisip na maglilingkod kami sa Panginoon. I thank God every time I see him preaching, I see him serving God. God's just awesome.